The flames licked at his boots like hungry demons. But he didn't flinch, walked straight into the inferno. His silhouette a defiant shadow against the roaring blaze that threatened to consume everything we'd built. I, a spectral whisper tied to his every step for decades, felt my ethereal chains shatter in that moment. Not from fear, but from the raw, unspoken love that had bound us tighter than any curse. And as the fire swallowed him whole, I realized this was no end, but the beginning of our true liberationist story of hidden desires, wartime scars, and the courage to burn it all down. My name was Elias Thorne, or at least it had been before death claimed me in the muddy trenches of World War II. I was just 23, a wide-eyed kid from rural Pennsylvania, drafted into a hell I never asked for. Back then, I hid my heart's truths like contraband, loving men in silence amid the bombs and brotherhood. But fate, that cruel jester, decided my story wouldn't end with a bullet. No, it twisted me into something eternal, a ghost, bound not to a place, but to a man, Captain Samuel Sam Harlan, the gruff veteran whose life I'd saved in a forgotten skirmish, only to doom us both to this spectral tether. It started in 1944, on the blood-soaked fields of Normandy. Sam was my commanding officer, a towering figure from Texas with a voice like gravel and eyes that pierced through the fog of war. He was 30 then, married to the Army's code, but I saw the cracks the way his gaze lingered on the young recruits, the hidden letters he burned at night. I loved him from afar, a forbidden ache that fueled my bravery. When a grenade exploded near our foxhole, I shoved him aside, taking the shrapnel that shredded my body. As I bled out, whispering his name, a strange energy surged between us. "Don't leave me," he begged, clutching my hand. But I did, or so I thought. Instead, my spirit latched onto him, invisible and voiceless, doomed to watch his life unfold while mine remained frozen. Post-war America welcomed Sam as a hero, but the ghosts of battle haunted him more than I ever could. He settled in a quiet suburb outside Chicago, marrying a sweet woman named Margaret to bury his secrets. I floated beside him, a silent witness to his nightmare screams in the dead of night. Bottles emptied to drown the memories. He'd wake sweating, calling out names of fallen comrades, sometimes mine. "Elias," he'd murmur, and my incorporeal heart would ache. I tried to reach him, brushing against his skin like a chill wind, but he dismissed it as PTSD, that clinical label for the war's invisible wounds. Years blurred into decades. Margaret passed in the 70s from cancer, leaving Sam alone in their creaky house. He aged into a reclusive veteran, volunteering at the local VFW hall, sharing stories of valor while omitting the ones that mattered most. I learned his truths through stolen glimpses, hidden magazines under the floorboards, furtive visits to underground bars in the city where men like us found fleeting solace. But shame chained him tighter than my spectral bond. "It's not right," he'd whisper to his reflection, fists clenched. I yearned to tell him it was that love wasn't a battlefield sin, but my voice was lost to the ether. Then came the turning point. A spark in the 80s amid the AIDS crisis that ravaged our hidden community. Sam, now in his 60s, volunteered at a hospice, driven by some unspoken guilt. There, he met young men dying alone, their families turned away by prejudice. I watched as he held their hands, offering comfort I'd never received. One night, a patient named Tommy, barely 25, confessed his regrets. "I never told him I loved him." Tommy gasped. Sam froze, tears welling. "Neither did I," he admitted, voice breaking. In that moment, I felt a tremor in our bond, a crack in the wall that had separated us. As the 90s dawned, Sam's isolation deepened. The world was changing, Stonewall's echoes rippling into pride parades, but he remained a prisoner of his era. I hovered closer, my presence manifesting in subtle ways. A book on gay rights falling from the shelf. A radio tuning to songs of forbidden love. He started noticing, whispering questions into empty rooms. Elias, is that you? My heart soared. One stormy evening, he sat by the fireplace, clutching my old dog tags he'd kept hidden. If you're here, show me. I mustered all my energy, flickering the flames into shapes our initials intertwined. He gasped, collapsing to his knees. God, Elias, what have I done? Our communication grew from there, tentative and profound. I'd manipulate objects, knocking yes or no, spelling words with Scrabble tiles. He shared his life, the wife he'd loved platonically, the children who'd grown distant, the men he desired but never pursued. You saved me once, he said, but I couldn't save you or myself. I revealed my love, letter by letter, and his eyes softened. I felt it too. Kid. But war. It breaks everything. In those confessions, romance bloomed spectral and sweet. A love unbound by flesh yet deeper for its purity. But darkness loomed. Sam's health faltered, Agent Orange's legacy. Cancer gnawing at his bones. Doctors gave him months. Despair gripped him. What's left for an old fool like me? He'd rasp. I urged him toward acceptance, toward pride. We talked for hours, me guiding his hand on a Ouija board we'd fashioned. He began writing letters to his kids. Coming out at last. Dad's gay. One read. And he loved a ghost more than life. The responses trickled in, shock, then tentative support. His daughter visited, hugging him fiercely. We love you, Dad. Always. Yet the bond held firm. My soul trapped until... What? I didn't know. As Sam's pain worsened, he hatched a plan, a final act of defiance. I need to burn the past, he told me. We drove to an abandoned barn on the outskirts of town, a place echoing our war memories. He doused it in gasoline, clutching photos, letters, medals, all symbols of repression. This fire will free us, he said. I pleaded no, but he smiled. Watch me, Elias. Love means letting go. He struck the match. The blaze erupted, heat singeing even my ghostly form. Sam stepped forward, unflinching, as flames encircled him. Panic surged, I rushed in. But instead of pain, warmth flooded me. Visions flashed, our almost kisses in the trenches. Unspoken touches. I love you. His voice echoed in my mind. The bond snapped, not in destruction, but release. As the barn collapsed, Sam's spirit rose, whole and young again, turning to me with a grin. Free at last. But he didn't vanish. Instead, he took my hand solid. Warm. Come on, kid. Eternity awaits. Together, we ascended, leaving the ashes behind. In that fire, we'd burned away shame, emerging into light. Love, I learned, isn't chains, it's the spark that sets souls free. The embers of that night still glowed in my memory as Sam and I hovered above the ruins. Our forms intertwined in a way the living could never comprehend. But freedom brought questions. What now? We weren't bound to Earth anymore. Yet an invisible thread kept us lingering, drawn to the lives we'd touched. Sam's daughter, Emily, arrived at the scene days later, sifting through the debris with tear-streaked cheeks. Dad, what happened? She whispered. We watched, unseen, as investigators ruled it an accident, a veteran's tragic end. But Emily found the note he'd left in his truck, burned the demons. Found peace with Elias. Love wins. Emily, a fierce lawyer in her 40s, took up his mantle. She delved into our story, piecing together fragments from Sam's journals. Elias Thorne. She read aloud one evening in the old house. My dad's guardian ghost. Her husband, Mark, scoffed at first. Ghosts? Come on. But as strange occurrences mounted, books opening to love poems. Cold spots where we lingered, belief crept in. We guided her subtly, leading her to hidden letters from the war. In one, Sam had written, Elias, if you're reading this in some afterlife, know I carried you always. Your sacrifice. It was love. Inspired, Emily organized a memorial not just for Sam, but for all hidden heroes of the LGBT community lost to war and silence. In a Chicago park, under blooming cherry trees, she spoke to a gathered crowd. My father was gay. He loved a man who died saving him. Their story teaches us, love endures beyond death. As she unveiled a plaque, I felt a surge pride. Validation. Sam squeezed my hand. Look what we started, kid. But our journey wasn't over. Whispers from the beyond called us to others like us, trapped by unrequited love or societal chains. We became wanderers, spectral aids in America's evolving landscape. In the 2000s, we visited a young soldier in Iraq, closeted and terrified. His name was Alex, 22. Echoing my own past, we appeared in dreams, sharing our tale. Don't hide, Sam urged. Alex awoke changed, coming out to his unit amid don't ask, don't tell, repealed later. But his bravery sparked ripples. Drama intensified when we encountered malevolent forces, ghosts of bigots, lingering hatred manifesting as poltergeists. In a southern town, a gay teen named Jordan faced bullying, his home haunted by a vengeful spirit from the civil rights era. We battled it, our love's light clashing against darkness. You can't win, it snarled. But Sam's veteran resolve shone. We faced worse. We banished it, leaving Jordan empowered. He later founded a youth center, crediting guardian angels. Romance deepened between Sam and me in this ethereal realm. No longer bound. Our touches were electric, kisses like stardust. We'd dance in moonlit fields, reminiscing. I wish we'd had this in life. I'd say, Sam, we do now. That's what matters. Yet longing for closure tugged. Sam's unfinished business, reconciling with his son, who hadn't responded to the coming out letter. We tracked him to California. David, now 50, a conservative businessman, lived in denial. We infiltrated his dreams, showing visions of Sam's war heroism and our love. Dad was happy, David murmured upon waking. A family reunion ensued, awkward hugs, tearful apologies. I didn't understand, David admitted. Sam, watching, beamed. Forgiven, son. As the 2010s brought marriage equality, we celebrated from afar, attending spectral weddings. But a crisis loomed, a rift in the veil, caused by global unrest, threatening to pull lost souls into oblivion. We rallied other spirits, forming an alliance. In a climactic confrontation amid a thunderstorm over the National Mall, we sealed the breach with our combined energy. Love mends all, Sam declared. Exhausted but triumphant, we felt the call to move on. Ready? He asked. I nodded. In a swirl of light, we transcended, leaving a legacy of hope. America's wounds healed a bit more because of us, two souls. Bound by war, freed by fire, united in eternity. Yet even in transcendence, echoes of Earth pulled us back occasionally, like guardians checking on their wards. The world had changed since our fiery release, same-sex marriage legal nationwide. pride flags waving proudly in small towns and big cities alike. But scars remained, especially for veterans like Sam, whose stories were only now being told. We visited museums, invisible spectators to exhibits on LGBTQ plus service members. One display featured Sam's dog tags, donated by Emily, Captain Harlan and Private Thorn, a bond beyond battle. The plaque read, "Tears ethereal one swelled as we read the curator's note. Their love defied death." Our adventures continued in subtle ways. In 2015, during the Supreme Court ruling, we joined a throng of spirits celebrating in D.C. Rainbows arched across the sky, and Sam pulled me close. "We helped make this possible," he whispered. But Kitchen arose when a backlash spirit, a ghostly remnant of outdated laws, tried to sow discord, possessing politicians with whispers of hate. We intervened, our presence a calming force. One night, in a heated debate hall, we manifested as a chill, knocking microphones to silence bigoted rants. The bill for equality passed, and we high-fived like kids. Personal growth marked our eternal bond. I confronted my own regrets, never telling my family about my identity. We journeyed to Pennsylvania, where my descendants lived. My great-niece, Lila, a vibrant artist in her 30s, painted themes of queer history. We inspired her dreams, leading to a series called Ghosts of Love. One canvas depicted us perfectly, flames and all. At her gallery opening, she toasted, "To the uncles we never knew, whose stories light our way." Sam grinned. "She's got your eyes, Elias." Romance flourished in unexpected realms. We'd escape to pocket dimension starry voids where we could relive missed moments. "If I could go back," Sam mused during one such tryst, "I'd kiss you in that foxhole." I laughed. "And get us court-martialed." Our laughter echoed, but beneath lay depth, discussions of forgiveness, the human cost of repression. "War stole our youth," he'd say, "but love gave it back." A major conflict emerged in the 2020s. Amid pandemics and social upheavals, isolated souls multiplied, depression spawning new ghosts. We became ethereal therapists, guiding the newly departed. One case hit hard, a trans veteran named Riley, who took their life after rejection. We appeared to them, sharing our tale. "You're not alone," I said. Riley's spirit stabilized, choosing to linger and advocate. They founded a spectral support group, crediting 2 old-timer ghosts. Family ties strengthened. Emily, now elderly, sensed us during holidays. "Dad, Uncle Elias," she'd call. We'd respond with warm breezes, moving photos to spell here. Her grandchildren grew up hearing our legend, fostering acceptance. One teen, questioning their identity, found solace in the story. "If a ghost can love freely, so can I," they declared, coming out to cheers. As tensions rose with global conflicts echoing World War II, we felt duty-bound. In dreams, we warned leaders of history's repeats, emphasizing humanity over hate. Sam's military insight proved invaluable, averting minor crises. "Peace starts with understanding," he'd impart. But our ultimate test came during a massive wildfire in California, symbolic flames ravaging lands. Trapped souls cried out. We dove in, rescuing spirits amid the blaze. Sam, ever the hero, led the charge. This fire won't claim us. In the heart of it, we found a living veteran, cornered, channeling energy. We guided him out, his survival a miracle attributed to guardian angels. Exhausted, we retreated to reflection. "We've done enough," Sam said. I agreed. In a quiet meadow, we bid farewell to Earth, ascending fully. Our legacy, a world a tad kinder. Where Lovino matter the form burns bright. The ascent wasn't immediate. Tendrils of connection held us, urging one last chapter. America's heartland called, where rural queerness still whispered in shadows. We materialized in Iowa, at a farm where a young couple, Jake and Tyler, both in their 20s, hid their relationship from conservative kin. Echoes of our past resonated. We can help, Sam insisted. We orchestrated signs, rainbows after storms, love songs on radios. When Jake's father discovered them, rage brewed, but we intervened, planting dreams of loss and regret. He awoke softened, hugging his son. I don't understand, but I love you. Tears flowed, bridges built. This victory sparked a chain. We traveled coast to coast, igniting change. In New York, we attended Pride, our essences blending with the crowd's energy. A float honored wartime heroes. We felt seen. But drama struck when a hate group plotted disruption. Spectral sabotage ensued, tripped wires, vanished signs. The parade thrived, love prevailing. Deeper emotions surfaced as we revisited Sam's Texas roots. His childhood home, now a museum, held artifacts of repression. We confronted his father's ghost, a stern figure embodying old values. You shamed me, Sam accused. The spirit crumbled. I was wrong. Forgiveness flowed, healing generational wounds. Thanks, Elias, Sam said. You taught me mercy. Our romance evolved into profound partnership. In timeless spaces, we'd debate philosophy. Is love eternal? Ours is. I'd affirm. Intimate moments, soul merges, transcended physicality. Pure connection. A global threat loomed, a surge in anti-LGBT legislation, spawning despair ghosts. We allied with international spirits, forming a network. In a virtual realm battle, we countered hate with empathy waves. Victories came, bills defeated. Hearts changed. One key win, a Russian activist, inspired by our whispered story, led a movement. Personal closure for me arrived in visiting my grave. Overgrown but peaceful. Sam placed ethereal flowers. Rest now. Love. I felt complete. As 2025 approached, with elections stirring divides, we lent subtle influence, dreams of unity to voters. Humanity first. Our message. Finally, the pull lessened. In a sunset over the Grand Canyon, Sam turned. Time to go? I nodded. Hands linked. We faded into light. Our story a beacon for those below. Love, we proved, conquers all, even death. Yet the light didn't consume us fully. A final tether remained, tied to unfinished narratives. Back in Chicago, Emily's health waned, her life a testament to our impact. We visited her bedside, manifesting as warm glows. Dad. Elias. She smiled. Thank you. We shared visions of our journey. Her passing peaceful, joining us briefly before her own ascent. Proud of you, Sam told her. With her gone, we reflected on legacy. Museums expanded exhibits. Books were written about the ghost veteran lovers. Hollywood eyed a film tasteful. We hoped. Adventure called once more, a haunted VA hospital, where PTSD spirits roamed. We counseled them, sharing coping tales. One, a Vietnam vet like Sam, found peace. Love saved you, he asked. And it can save you, we replied. Romance peaked in cosmic explorations, visiting stars, reliving memories in nebula forms. Eternity with you is heaven, Sam confessed. A climax built with a dimensional rift, pulling in innocent souls. We sealed it, our energies fusing in a blaze of light echoing the barn fire. Exhausted, we chose full transcendence. Ready for forever? Sam asked. Always. We dissolved into the universe. Our love, eternal fuel for hope. The universe embraced us, but Earth's pull echoed faintly, reminding us of enduring impact. In schools, our story taught tolerance. In therapy, it inspired healing. We observed from afar, pride events growing, rights advancing despite setbacks. Personal moments, revisiting Normandy, honoring fallen comrades. Our bond, unbreakable, became legend among spirits. A final visit to the barn site now, a memorial park. Inscriptions read, "Love sets souls free." Satisfied, we fully merged with the cosmos. Our tale a timeless whisper of resilience and romance. Cosmic existence brought serenity. Yet curiosity drew us to parallel tales other bound souls we mentored. In America, progress continued, trans rights solidified, conversion therapy banned. We celebrated milestones, our influence subtle but profound. Romance eternal, souls dancing in infinity. No more drama, just peace. Peace reigned, our story complete. Love's victory, profound and human, echoed forever.